You're listening to Short History Shorts audio, where history speaks louder than images. Beneath the warm Mediterranean sun, on the island of Crete, lie the broken bones of a once mighty people. Faded frescoes, sun-bleached ruins, and the cracked remnants of vast palace complexes whisper the story of a civilization that predated classical Greece by more than 1,000 years. This was the world of the Minoans, Europe's first great civilization. At its heart was Knossos, a sprawling palace so complex and opulent that later Greeks believed it was the very labyrinth of myth, home to the monstrous Minotaur. But what truth lies behind these stones? Who were the Minoans? And why did their vibrant world vanish so suddenly, leaving behind only ghosts? The city of Knossos rose to prominence around 2000 BC, though its origins stretch further back into the Neolithic. By the height of the Minoan civilization, roughly 1700 to 1450 BC, Knossos was not simply a palace, it was a city in itself. A maze of rooms, corridors, stairwells, storage chambers, and ceremonial spaces, it sprawled over more than 14,000 square meters. Its walls were painted with colorful murals, dolphins dancing, young acrobats leaping over bulls, and priestesses in elaborate garb. Unlike the fortress palaces of Mycenaean Greece, Knossos lacked major defensive walls. This was not a warrior kingdom, it was a maritime power that dominated the Aegean, not with swords, but with ships, trade, and culture. The Minoans were named after the mythical king Minos, though we don't know what they called themselves. They left no epic text like the Iliad, only fragments of a still undeciphered script called Linear A. But their material legacy is immense. Their architecture was daring, filled with light wells and plumbing systems centuries ahead of their time. Their art burst with color, movement, and life. Their religion seemed centered around goddess worship, with sacred bulls and snakes featuring prominently. And above all, they were seafarers. Minoan ships carried Cretan goods across the Aegean to Egypt, the Levant, and Anatolia. They were the original middlemen of Mediterranean trade, linking civilizations before most had learned to write. Yet for all its sophistication, Minoan civilization carries an air of mystery. No known Minoan army, no known kings in the traditional sense. Their palaces suggest administrative power, but their hierarchy remains opaque. Even their central myths, like the Minotaur, Daedalus, and the Labyrinth, only survive through Greek reinterpretations centuries later. According to legend, Athens once sent 7 boys and 7 girls to be devoured by the Minotaur in the labyrinth beneath Knossos, until Theseus slew the beast and escaped with the help of Ariadne. Was this just myth? Or a distorted echo of Minoan rituals or political dominance over the Greek mainland? What we do know is that around 1450 BC, something changed. The palaces on Crete, including Knossos, were destroyed or abandoned. Only Knossos was rebuilt. And even then, it was soon overtaken by the Mycenaeans from mainland Greece. These newcomers adopted much of the Minoan style but wrote in a new script, Linear B, which we can read today. The Mycenaeans ruled Knossos for a time, but by 1200 BC, the palace was silent forever. What caused the Minoan collapse? Theories abound. A massive volcanic eruption at Thera, modern Santorini, a resulting tsunami, internal conflict, foreign invasion, or a slow economic decline. Perhaps it was all of these. The Minoans faded not in a single fiery cataclysm but over decades, their culture gradually eclipsed by more aggressive mainlanders, and so Knossos became a ghost. Greek memory preserved fragments of the Minoan past, strange gods, bull cults, tales of labyrinths, and lost princesses, but the civilization itself was forgotten for over 2 millennia. When archaeologist Arthur Evans began excavating the site in 1900, he believed he had found the palace of King Minos himself. He called the people Minoans and even reconstructed parts of the site with colorful frescoes and reinforced columns. His reconstructions remain controversial, part archaeology, part imagination, but they reawakened interest in the deep roots of European civilization. Today, visitors walk among the ruins of Knossos and wonder at the ingenuity of a people who lived without iron, without alphabetic writing, without armies, yet who created cities, art, and myths that echo through history. The Minoans are a paradox, advanced yet lost, familiar yet unknowable. They are not the ancestors of classical Athens or Sparta. They are older, stranger, different. Their society challenges the narrative that power must come from conquest. It suggests a world where trade, art, and religion could build an empire of influence. But we only know them through fragments. The scripts they wrote remain mostly undeciphered. Their gods are nameless, their voices are silent. And yet their spirit lingers. In the stories of the labyrinth, in the swirling patterns of their pottery, in the bright blue dolphins swimming across plastered walls. Knossos is no longer a palace, it is a memory, a mythic echo. This has been Short History Shorts Audio. Subscribe for more forgotten foundations of ancient greatness, where myths walk beside mortals and ruins whisper their secrets to those who still listen.